Barbecue sauce is one of the staples of American cuisine, but like ketchup, most people simply buy it in bottles. Now, some of the bottled products are pretty good, to be honest. Most aren't. No bottled product is like this. For one thing, it has to be made in small batches, and second, the cost of the ingredients are so high that it would mean it would have to sell for $100 a bottle in stores, and nobody is going to do that. So the only way to get this is to make it yourself. The first step is to get a pan very hot. There's no oil in it, and we're going to singe these onions at about 150 grams of onions here in rings, fairly thick. Break them up, and we're going to actually get a little bit of char on these. After 5 or 6 minutes, you get some burn going on here on the bottom of the pan, and the onions have some black marks on them. We're going to give it just a little bit more. Don't do this in a Teflon pan, by the way. You'll destroy it because this is extremely hot right now. It'll ruin the Teflon. It'll ruin the nonstick coating. These onions are getting dark, and it's smelling like smoke. It's smelling like it's burning, but in this case, that's exactly what we want. It's been about 7 minutes now, and the heat's been on 8 this entire time out of 1 to 10. It's quite hot. So now I'm going to add the wine. We're going to actually bring this up to a boil, help deglaze the pan a little bit, help blow off a little bit of the alcohol first. It won't take long to boil. Okay, as I said, it didn't take long, about a minute. Now I'm going to add the apple juice. And oregano, cumin seeds, the garlic cloves that were crushed under the side of a knife, and normally I don't use these Nord gel packs for very many things, but it works out fine in this case because we're making barbecue sauce. We're not making anything too elegant here. So I'm using one of the chicken gel packs. I'm also adding the cinnamon stick to it. And I have a red chili that's not too hot, and a red chili that is hot. It's a Serrano. I'll throw those in. And finally, a dried red sweet chili, as explained in the first volume of my cookbook. I'm just going to crumble that in. And if you don't have this, you can substitute a tablespoon of a good paprika. It won't be as good, but it'll work. Okay, I'm going to give this a good stir here and let it begin reducing. I'm turning the heat down now finally from 8 all the way down to 4. This is the level of simmer that you want to see during that initial reduction. After 1 hour of simmering, I'm going to use a stick blender on it. We're not looking to make it completely homogeneous. We just want to break up a little bit there. Now I'm going to add, there's the brown sugar, white sugar, cider vinegar, and the ketchup. Now we return it to the heat, slightly higher heat now, a little bit more aggressive reduction. This is the amount of simmer that we're looking for on the second stage of the reduction. And here's what it looks like during about the last 7 or 8 minutes. You can see that the bubbles are smaller, and it's definitely thicker. So we know it's getting close. Okay, you know it's done when it's like this. It's starting to look like paint. Now we're going to pass it through a sieve. And it might take just a little bit of work to get it all the way through, because it's pretty thick now. And eventually you get all that you can get through it, and this just has to either be waste or, you know, if you want to get creative here and take the cinnamon stick out, grind this up with some ground beef, you can actually pass it through a mill. You can make great meatloaf with this, but you know, that's what we would do for staff food in a restaurant, but at home you can just discard it. Now we have this beautiful glossy dark sauce. We add the liquid smoke to this and it's ready. If you want to know more about my adventures as a chef around the world and have some great laughs along the way, be sure to check out the video tour of my book, 40 Years in One Night. It's up on YouTube right now. Click the link. If you like my videos, look for my cookbook, now available through Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and other internet bookseller sites. Also look for my cocktail book, Cocktails of the South Pacific and Beyond, Advanced Mixology, available through Amazon online.